This free Skool community has over 42,000 members, but that's not where Andrew Kirby makes his money. Behind it sits a paid program with a fraction of the members, and somehow Andrew has built a system that consistently turns free community members into high-ticket customers. So I've spent the last week dissecting every page, every classroom lesson, every community post, and every funnel I could find. Because I wanted to answer one question: how do you turn 42,000 members into a business? After studying everything, I realized something that was key. The community isn't the product, it's the acquisition system. Before we can really understand the machine, we need to understand why it was built. Years before Synthesizer, Andrew Kirby was building businesses and growing a YouTube audience. But what stood out to me, to be honest, wasn't the subscriber count, it was the problem he became obsessed with. Why do people make progress incredibly fast, while others spend years consuming information and never get anywhere? The question eventually became the foundation of Synthesizer. A community designed to help educational creators turn knowledge into income. At least that's what it looks like on the surface. Because once I got inside the ecosystem, I started noticing something interesting. This wasn't just a community, it looked more like a system. At first glance, Synthesizer looks like a free Skool group. You join, you get access to the community, you get access to the classroom, you can also attend calls, you get access to other members inside of the community. Pretty standard, but communities don't generate millions, offers do. So the first thing I wanted to understand was, what's free, what's paid, what's expensive, what's the actual transformation that's being sold inside of this community? Because after looking through everything, I don't think they're selling community, I think they're selling structure. The free community gets them through the door, and the paid gives them the implementation behind it. Every part of the ecosystem seems to be designed to move people from one stage to the next. So let's break it down. The first thing I checked out was their About page. Now, upon checking this About page out, I noticed that these guys know exactly what they're doing, because usually you have an overflow of text going on here, whereas this one hasn't. And the first thing I noticed is their one-line offer, which is helping educators use Skool to change the world and make 10k to 100k a month. That's followed by proof, which, by the way, guys, this proof is insane. And member results and what you get. That's simple. And a CTA. Look at this proof. First Skool investor, first ever free Skool, top 1% Skool group, 500 plus K YouTube subscribers, hosted Alex Hormozy's Skool games. Probably can't get much better than that. Okay, so when you go into the community, the first thing you notice is price increasing by 1k in 14 days. So I click on that post. Enter Aiden Lebrecht. Apparently, Andrew was overwhelmed managing everything. He joined one of Aiden's communities. Aiden impressed him, started writing, started managing, and eventually started running Synthesizer. Eventually it became indispensable. At the time, Andrew wanted to grow on Twitter, so he started looking for communities that could help. He searched for Twitter communities on Skool. Aiden's community appeared. Andrew joined as a paying member for around $50, and that's where the story starts. His first impression, Andrew said he was immediately impressed, not because of audience size, not because of the rev that this guy had, or flashy marketing, but his attention to detail, thoughtfulness, genuine care, ability to help people grow their communities. That's what stood out. How Aiden got in. Initially, Aiden wasn't running Synthesizer, he was just helping Andrew with Twitter. Writing tweets, helping with content, supporting growth. Small role, nothing dramatic. Andrew said Aiden kept over-delivering again and again and again. Every time Aiden was given responsibility, he handled it, so he got more responsibility. Andrew slowly realized, hold on, this guy's exceptional at helping people grow Skool communities. Eventually, Aiden became a central part of Synthesizer scaling. Andrew even says he developed a phrase, Aiden over-delivers again. Eventually, this guy's now gone on to become one of the key operators behind the entire ecosystem. So going back to this post, price increasing by 1k in 14 days. I have a confession to make. When we started Synthesizer scaling, our goal was to just help 60 educators achieve 10 to 100k a month as fast as possible. Since then, we've helped hundreds of creators reach 10 to 100k a month, gotten to 836 win posts in the process. I'm scaling from 0 to 300k in 12 months. We have a problem. To maintain the incredible customer experience and to ensure we only bring on people we are confident we can over-deliver to, we are raising the price. We should have done this a long time ago, but we have been putting it off to collect even more wins. Scaling will be increasing its price by 1k starting on June 13th. For those who are humming and hawing over who to work with or when to start, now's a good time to check things out. Apply here now. Everyone who clicks that link and books their application call now will save 1k regardless if you get accepted. PS, what's synthesizer scaling, comment scaling below, and we'll send you some more details. Because we are a small team, we have limited spots on the calendar, first come, first serve. Nothing but testimonials here. Testimonial after testimonial after testimonial after testimonial. Okay. Then over here, looks like we have a post by, I'm guessing this is a member of Synthesizer Scaling, and all the wins and all the results and the process. And I'm guessing more wins here. Yeah. Win after win after win after win. Then on the third pin posts, they're getting you to check your calendar to see how much time you're dedicating towards content. Because right now on Skool, that's probably the number one thing you can do is generate traffic to your offer. As you can see, this community is super engaged, but I don't know if you've noticed the pattern yet, because I have, and that's they post wins, they show the revenue that they've done, they show client results, they show renewals, they show you that the price is increasing, and then they show you success stories. Like when you're checking out this post, the first thing that comes to mind is like, oh, this is a sales post. And you're right, let's be honest, you're right. But look how it's structured. You know, the post doesn't start with scarcity, it starts with proof. You know, hundreds of creators that they've helped, hundreds of wins generated, massive client results, then the offer, then the price increase. Now, I've realized something as well, like just taking like a deeper dive into this community, and it's like these 3 posts that are pinned here, they're not community posts, they're social proof assets. Imagine joining this community for the first time, yeah? You see someone landing their first client, or someone's hitting 30k MRR, or someone's doubling their rates, or someone that you know is signing a new deal, or someone's closing a deal from YouTube. Your brain at some point is going to be like, maybe this actually works. And that's why this community is powerful. For example, you could make the most insane community to get people to understand the dynamics behind everything. But the reality is that people buy when they believe that something works. So that's why their feed's engineered this way. It's not engineered in a way to get you entertained. Obviously, I'm sure there are posts that are like that. But if you're just checking out these 3 posts in the beginning, it's not about engagement, it's about belief. Now let's check out the classroom. And to be honest, this has completely changed how I look at the business now. Because to be honest, I expected to find like a library of content. But to be honest, this looks more like an onboarding process. I mean, look at the structure: Orient, network, case study, client, monetized. It's not organized around information, it's organized around transformation. Like they're trying to get you to go through a transformation here. What they're doing in their community, which makes it really good, is they're trying to get you to go through a journey and, you know, go through lessons. And if you check this second lesson out, they've got this call to action here. And what this means is it tells us something quite important, to be honest, and it's that the classroom isn't there to just educate you, it's there to qualify you onto a call. So when we look at it, the content's doing multiple things at once. It's building trust, creating conviction, showing possibility, positioning the next step, getting you to hop on that call. It's an ascension mechanism. So what are they doing in this free community? They're pushing you towards this offer. And let's take a look at this community now. It's 1.7k. They've got insane testimonials again on here. You can apply straight away. Price increasing soon, which is mentioned in the free group. Want more leads, feeling unclear on your offer, burned out or overwhelmed, ready to help more people and make more money. This is probably like the main problems that a creator has. Synthesizer scaling is the fastest path for educational creators to make 10 to 100k a month on Skool. Educational creators, that's probably like everybody on YouTube. Nah, I'm joking, but they're calling out their ICP. Need proof we're the only ones on Skool that shared the results of every single customer, and they got it linked here. You'll get 4 months of personalized coaching to scale your Skool using our synthesizer scaling program. Done for you sales scripts, launch posts, power page, and more. 3 client attraction systems that bring leads and customers from Skool and social media. Rapid launch protocol designed to boost an ROI within 30 days. Okay. And synthesizer scaling AI. Click here to apply. Price increase again. About page copy. Once again, simple. And then you've got the VSL here. So, what is it that 90% of educational creators want to do? At this point, the entire ecosystem started making sense. Every page had a specific job. The about page, the feed builds belief, the classroom builds conviction, and the application creates demand. Once I mapped everything out, the funnel looked something like this: content, free community, belief, classroom, conviction, application, sales call, customer. The community itself isn't the destination, it's the bridge. The more I studied it, the more obvious that became. This isn't a community first business, it's a customer acquisition system disguised as a community. So why does this actually work? I think the answer is surprisingly simple. Most community owners focus on engagement. Synthesizer seems to focus on belief. The about page makes you believe the founders know what they're doing. The feed makes you believe success is possible. The classroom makes you believe there's a path. The offer gives you structure to follow. Information is free, structure is paid. And that's the insight I kept coming back to while studying this ecosystem. They're not selling info, they're selling implementation. They're selling speed, they're selling certainty. The community simply creates the conditions necessary for someone to decide that they want that. But I'll start in a Skool community tomorrow. These are the 3 things I would copy immediately. First, you've got to make proof impossible to ignore. Use every win as marketing, and every success story, use that as an asset too. Second, give every page a specific job. The about page does something, the community does something else, and the classroom does something else. Everything has a different function. And the third thing is to build a business around the community, not the community around the business. The community should support transformation, not replace it. Probably one of the biggest things I've learned studying synthesizer scaling is to assign a specific role to each part of your community. Like, for example, the about page builds that credibility. Then you enter the community, and then you've got all these posts, and then it builds that belief. And then you check the classroom out, and it starts building that conviction. With all that demand, you've got like an application process to convert it. Once I saw that, to be honest, I stopped looking at synthesizer like a community and started looking at it like a customer acquisition system. A machine designed to turn attention into trust, trust into conviction, and conviction into customers. And honestly, that's probably why it works so well. Anyway, if there's another Skool community you think I should dissect next, let me know in the comments.